We would now go straight to London, where we are now joined by Malan Jafar, who is right now in London and would be discussing the passing of Queen Elizabeth II and, of course, the emergence, uh, predictably, of King Charles III. Good morning, Malan Jafar. Good morning, Malan Jafar. I hope you can hear me.
Yes,
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to have you join us this morning. In the last 24 hours, we have seen the world, various leaders from across the world, put out statements to mourn with Britain over the passing of one of the longest serving monarch in modern history. Like one of the guests mentioned this morning in our show, she's a monarch that represents different things to different people. And it was within her reign that we saw virtually the independence of the many colonies that were under Britain, among several other things that happened over a 96 years period of our lifetime. You are in Britain this morning. Can you give us a feeler of what the Queen's country, feels like this morning, and how people are taking this development?
but really, actually, everybody is going about his normal business, as you can see, or as I can. The bosses and children are going to school because a bank holiday today. That is today. They didn't declare it. I think it is on the funeral. That is, I think, on the 10th death. The funeral, it will be a bank holiday. That day, the lion at chapel. But what is happening today morning, as Elias, you can notice the sun around the town, but there was changes from activities. But traditionally, they have some choreographed system of mourning the queen or the king in the event of this. Some events that happened, the Operation London Bridge, uh, which did tell how everything will happen. Day of the dead, day of the burial.
So, Mr. Jaffer, do you have any leads on how King Charles III will be unveiled?
Yeah, I think the Acting Council will sit on Saturday, where they announced today. So technically it is immediate. The succession process is immediate.
Mm-hmm.
In the United Kingdom. For the formal coronation, there will be that followed afterward. But the formal coronation will take place, I think, nearly, it will take almost a year before, because there will be some commitments and so many things, so many protocols that will happen. So that takes a year. But already he has already attended the throne, and he has formally announced his new name as King Charles III. Some traditions will follow. I think the Accession Council will sit, and then the king will also start some nationwide powers to the capitals of the countries within the UK, the Belfast, the Edinburgh, the Cardiff, and then back.
So, Malam Jafar, we have seen there are all kinds of speculations around the things that are likely to happen. And some of them readily come to mind. For instance, the currency in Britain all seem to have the Queen's face. Are we going to see any radical change immediately with regards to now having the new king's face on it, since she does appear to be the only face?
They will change their currency, it will bear the face of the new king, the back will change, stamps will change, so many changes.
Is this also supposed to, will this also transcend to those institutions that will
the queen now read God save the king. So there will be so many changes. The currency that bears the queens will slowly be phased out as time goes on, and will be replaced with new currencies that bears or bear the name of the king.
So before the announcement of the king, which was almost immediately, as you rightly mentioned, you know, there were popular studies in the UK dating back to 2018 where people felt that because he had been a king in the waiting for so long, 73 years in fact, that
Yes.
they thought that he would have ceded to his 40-year-old son, just as the Queen's father had the title ceded to him by his own brother. And that thought became very, very popular. But what is the perception, you know, given that that did not come to fruition?
Well, really, it is just speculation. People have been speculating because he has waited so long to take over the throne. But definitely, the dream of royal is to inherit the throne of his fathers. And then the dream of Charles is to uh, take his mom, which has happened yesterday. I doubt you think that he would ever contemplate, abdicating the throne to his son or something like that, or something of that nature. It will never happen. I doubt it anywhere, even in the colonies in our lands. You can see a father and his son struggling or contesting to the areas. So happens at times that you see that at times, like in Daura, there has been an instance where the son succeeded the grandfather to beat his father in the contest for the emirship. So it happened here, but I doubt here have even from day one the accession, their line, succession line, the number of people, you know yourself, you know your number, understand. After the Queen's death yesterday, the line dramatically changed. Previously, it was Prince Harry. I think Prince Harry was the fourth or something. But dramatically, he became the sixth after the Queen's death. So that is how the succession line is changing over time by events. Some events change everything. Even the Queen wouldn't have become the Queen for 2 years if her grandfather, I think, grandfather did not abdicate, or is it his grandfather? No, uncle did not abdicate the throne for her father. So probably she wouldn't have become the king, but for this radical and sudden change that occurred in the royal monarchy.
Okay, now quickly before we wrap up the discussion, in your assessment, would you say King Charles would have maybe similar leadership traits, just like his mom?
No, really, he acts. He mother at very age, say 70 is very ripe age. So be like his mother. His mother came as a very young person, and she was learning the ropes when she came in, because she was not as old as her son. So there will be really, it wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be the same. Definitely, it wouldn't be the same, because Charles is already experienced through, and he has risen through of the monarch. So there won't be actually, it won't be the same as his mother. He wouldn't last, obviously may not last longer than his mother. And surely there won't be it won't be the same. True.
For joining us, Jafar from London. We hope to have you next time on the program.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Quite very interesting, I would say, Sunday.
Somebody was mentioning to me that it's a time to be in London. It's an event that that you see once in a lifetime.
Right.
One has been on the throne for 70 years, 70 of the last century. That's a long time.
Halfway through your lifetime.
A lot of people had come and gone without ever knowing a different monarch. Now there is one in place. It would be a lifetime experience to see how the crowning of a new king, would be. The procedure of crowning a new monarch in Britain, amidst conversation around rising inflations, cutting costs, and finding money to survive and all of that. Let us see how.
Well, it's a tradition they hope to keep.
What part of the tradition would they would keep, and what they would have to let go to, because people have been questioning even the finance of the royal family lately, the spendings around that family, and the role that royalty has to play in modern day democracy. There's so much lesson to be learned, I'm sure, in the coming days as we zero in on the final interment and, of course, the taking over of King Charles III.
Well, with the talk on the Queen, we wrap up Daybreak for today. If you've missed, you can catch up with us across all our social media platforms. My name is Zainab Bala.
I am Sunday Michael Ogu. Do have a lovely weekend.